So then I felt like I didn't know enough because I kind of focused on radio, and I felt like I didn't know enough about television, video production. So I decided I was going to go to the Institute of American Indian Art in Santa Fe because I happened to attend I believe it was called the Three Rivers or Two Rivers American Indian Film Festival in Minneapolis. And so there were several producers there. Maybe their works were in progress and they were just kind of talking about it. Maybe they got funding through, like one of them was through, at that time it was TBS. It was called the Native American Series, and he had received a lot of money for that. So anyway, he just saying, hey, we're looking for the young and up and coming, people who want to be production assistants and so on. And he was the producer, was teaching at the Institute of American Indian Art. And I said, I'm going to go there. Even though I already had a degree, I said, I'm going to go there. I want to learn from him. Well, by the time I was able to get myself there, he had left, and he was producing projects for television full time. So, and they were native projects. And oh, by the way, when I was there at that film festival, I went up and talked to him because he said, come up, and anybody interested, come and talk to me. We'll see if we can get you on as like a production assistant. And they were shooting throughout the country. They were focusing on tribes throughout the country. So I made sure I made my way up to him and talked to him and said, I'm really interested. Well, it takes time for these things to come to fruition. And so a few months would go by, I'd give him a call, nothing, was going on. Then a few more months went by, I kept bugging him. And then finally, when it was funded, fully funded, and they brought me on board to I helped with 2 of their segments. And that was a real eye-opening experience. And I picked everybody's brain, the shooters, the guys that worked, what is that truck called? The big truck with all the gear on it. Those guys had set up the, reflectors, the lights, blah, blah, this and that. I would talk to them. I would talk to the producer, the line producer who's the one on location producing. I kind of kept my eyes and ears open, and I would ask questions when I could. And so I tried to learn by observing. And I, that was kind of where I paid my dues. I was willing to do whatever it took to get on the production, and learn and be a part of it. And so, we were out in South Dakota. Oh gosh, we were in different locations in South Dakota, but I would have to run like 30 miles to go get lunch, and get back and make sure the crew was fed, things like that. Whatever they needed, we would do. If we have to hold reflectors for hours, you sit there and hold a reflector and make sure it reflects, from the sun onto their face, and you got to hold it, for a long time. There's things, that the worker bees have to do, and it has to be done. So anyway, I was willing to do it because I wanted to learn. And in the meantime, I also went to the Institute of American Indian Art, and there was a woman there who had worked for stations in Albuquerque, and she was now teaching. She was a wonderful teacher. I learned so much from her about production too. And she was a Native woman. All these people were Native producers. They had been in the business for a long time, and they were giving the younger me, they were giving the younger folks a hand up. They wanted to, and. So I learned a lot, but I was willing to, and this is really important, I already had a college degree, but I was willing to humble myself and go to the Institute of American Indian Art, which at that time was a 2-year school, and I said I wanted to learn more, and so, I went back and learned more. And then also I wanted to learn from whoever I could, that was really important. There's a saying, it says, if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're always the smartest person in the room, you need to look at, who you're keeping company with, because you're never going to learn. You're never going to grow. And that's something about our culture that's a real blessing and a real gift, because we do honor our elders, and we do look to them. I'm going to say, you know, it's kind of the, what is that word? Kind of that stereotype a little bit, you know, honor your elders. Hey, there's elder abuse going on in our communities and everything too. But I'm just saying we do value our elders, I think a little bit more than mainstream America does. I think we do. And anyway, so that mentorship, you know, that turning to somebody who knows more than you is really important, because you're never going to grow. You're never going to be challenged if you're always the smartest person in the room. You know, and then who wants to be the smartest person in the room? You know, who doesn't want to learn more? And you know, that's what makes life exciting. You know, and I mean, I'm always setting goals. I always want to learn more. So, but that falls right. I think that's a really important quality or characteristic of our culture. Is at least we have been hearing, and it's back here, you know, honor your elders, listen to your elders. We're not, you know, we're not sitting at the laps of our elders anymore. You know, that's not happening. And I know lots of good people that, you know, are doing their best to get the word out there, you know, and teachings and stories and so on. And boy, with today, you know, with the social media and everything, it is so hard to get the attention of junior high, high school, well, elementary, whatever. You know, you really have to be sophisticated about it. You really do, because they're not going to pay attention. So.